Hey guys, welcome back to the fish room, the aqua base. I've really been kind of demotivated the last few weeks just with doing stuff in the fish room. I don't know why, but I think first reason is it's just cold. It's cold outside and I hate doing stuff when it's cold. That's kind of no excuse because this is a warm room where air conditioned, the heater is on, it's on heating mode, so it is kind of warm in here. But I just hate the winter season because the water comes out cold. It's cold outside when you go moving in and out of the fish room and stuff. Another thing is, I've just been thinking so much of what I want to do with this room, and it's kind of like a complaining video now. I'm kind of whining about this, but yeah, it's alright though. Don't worry guys. Don't be worried because we're gonna get this thing figured out, and I know what I'm gonna do. The fish room is taking shape. This aqua base is starting to take shape right now. We've got the... Let me give you guys a closer look. So, I'm sorry if this video started out weird, me whining, but it's just kind of how I feel right now. And I shouldn't complain about the cold because we don't get that much snow. We get a little bit of snow, but it doesn't pile up like crazy. So, alright, so no excuses, no excuses. Alright, so you can see the middle section is starting to take shape. We're putting like a rectangle of tanks in the middle. We've got the two 90 centimeters here. We've got a 60 by 45 centimeter right here. So these two tanks are 45 centimeters in depth, 1.5 feet. So yeah. And then we'll have one more tank right here, a 120 centimeter tank here. It's going to be that planted tank that will be moving in here. So it's going to be a rectangle of tanks, 4 tanks right in the middle. Then we've got the contest tank back over there that I still haven't set up. That's another thing I really need to set up for this year's contest, but I'm way behind schedule now and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make this year's contest. So yeah, I am really just not motivated this year at all, and it really, I don't know, I don't like this feeling. Then down here we've got the African cichlid tank, and I'll be moving that too very soon. Right now you can't see the fish, but whenever I start making videos and I start talking, these fish just go into hiding mode, and the lights are turned off right now because I wanted to get rid of the blue-green algae. The algae has been dying off, but these fish are really good at hiding. I'll put some B-roll up so that you guys can see them. But then right here, I got a new stand. So this stand, it looks pretty nice, right? Let me know what you guys think of this stand in the comments below. But this stand, our carpenter friend built it for me. So I asked him, can you kind of build it like in the ADA style? And you can see the ADA style cabinet has this bit up at the top. So this is another ADA style cabinet. It's not an ADA cabinet, but it's made in a similar fashion. So you can see that bit up at the top. And you've got the doors, the 2 doors. So this one as well. Then this one, he's put on these little push open knobs, which is kind of cool. I'm not a fan of the gold color. I wish he would have put like a black color or a silver, but I can change that out in the future if I want to. But yeah, I really like this stand. It's natural wood. I'm gonna oil it up. That's what this is here. This isn't just coffee. It's oil that the carpenter gave me so that I can oil it and give it a nice finish, and so that it doesn't seep in water when you spill water on it. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm gonna move that African cichlid tank over onto here. That tank onto here. We'll need to make another stand for that, and then it'll slowly start going well. And then in this space, once this opens up, we'll put like a couch there so you can relax and stuff. And I've also added a refrigerator to this room. This is a used refrigerator I got for about $100, which is a really good deal. And yeah, it works really well. So we've got the freezer section where I'll be able to put frozen bloodworms, frozen brine shrimp, frozen foods, and then the refrigerator section where I'll be able to put drinks and stuff. So if guests come over, I can give them a nice beverage. Maybe a subscriber will come over someday. We'll see. Yeah, I've also been thinking of the last few weeks, maybe what if I turn this into a kind of a little shop we'll have some fish that maybe we can sell, maybe some products that we can sell as well. Just like a relaxed, chill fish store or aquascape galleries. I don't even know yet, but we're in no rush to do that. But I've just been thinking. So yeah, what I really want to do today though is these two tanks, because these two tanks are a disaster, and you can see the CO2 isn't sticking onto the glass anymore because I've got to clean the suction cups as well as the glass. Just too much algae in these tanks, and this is another thing that's been kind of making me not enjoy this hobby. Yeah, algae. The balance right now is not good, and I say don't worry about algae, you can fix it, and it's true, you can fix it. If you watched my contest tank video last year, I'll put the link up here, there was a stage where the whole tank was covered in algae and we got it to look good in just a couple of weeks, but it just hurts, you know, to see stuff like this. And I know the main reason. First of all, the light. You might say it's the light. I really don't think it's the light, because the light has been on 40% intensity, which is really low. It doesn't even look that bright right now. So I know it's not the light, because it used to be much brighter than that. I think it's got to do with the filters, because the filter, this is a hang-on back filter, and I've got it on this side of the tank, so mostly this side of the tank is getting flow and that side isn't. And it actually started out with this side being covered in algae, and then it slowly started spreading over to this side. So I'm guessing it's mostly the canister filter, and then other stuff, balance, CO2 as well. You can see this one isn't, wow, this one's not getting any CO2 at all. So yeah, I just realized that, but this one here is getting a majority of the CO2, and it used to be balanced. So I guess something happened there that, yeah, so this is stuff I need to figure out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this right now, and we're gonna go on time lapse because it's gonna take forever to do this. And yeah, I'll see you guys once it looks a little bit better. And yeah, we've also got some plants. I really like this plant, so I'm slowly touching up this room, trying to make it look better. There's also another goal, a thing I have to finish. Paint the walls. So that wall over there, that wall, and this wall. These three walls I gotta finish painting, and I think that will help me feel better. It'll make me, it'll motivate me again to finish up this room and kind of get it going. So yeah, let's start by cleaning up these two tanks. Alright, so another reason why I've been getting so much algae, I think, is because, I hate to say this, but I just haven't been water changing these tanks a lot. Like, since I set this tank up, I probably only did a water change once, and this is my second time today. And I just remembered that I added new soil into this tank when I did that reset. So there's about 90% new old soil, previous soil, and then I added about 10% new soil. So of course that's going to leach nutrients. And the funny thing is that these two tanks have completely different algae. This one had a hairy, like stringy algae, and this one had a, I don't know what you call it. It's like algae you get growing in ponds and stuff, like filamentous. I'm not sure what kind of algae that is, but yeah, it's really weird how the two tanks have totally different algae. Yeah, I just got to keep up with maintenance, balance. The lighting I don't think is too big of an issue. You can see the plants are growing really well. Not the healthiest. I also haven't been fertilizing this tank, so you can see like this 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝘀 right in the middle of the screen is really skinny and lanky and missing a lot of leaves. So yeah, some plants that are hardier will do much better than other plants that are more needy and require fertilization. And man, I haven't been fertilizing this tank at all. I did fertilize for like 2 weeks and then I stopped because I ran out of fertilizer. So man, I need to get myself together. I really enjoy these types of planted tanks. I enjoy looking at them, but I just don't like maintaining them, and especially when you have lots of stem plants. Stem plants isn't really my thing. I don't enjoy keeping stem plants because they just require so much maintenance, so much time, fertilization. It's just a lot tougher, I think. Well, I'm not sure, but the types of plants I like are these right here, Echinodorus, like this. I've also got some new ones that I just recently got. They're nice, slow-growing plants that don't require a lot of trimming. You just leave them and they'll grow for you. Here's another Echinodorus, and then I've got one in the back right there. You can see it's a rosette plant. And then I've also got some crypts, which aren't doing too well right now. They just melted and are starting to grow back, so it's nice that they're growing back. But they need patience, so some people don't like that type of plants, but I like it because you just put them in and leave them alone. Unlike stem plants, you put them in, they grow, and then you gotta trim them, then they grow again, then you gotta trim them, and it's just every week. It's just high maintenance plants, and I know some people like them. I like watching them, but I don't like maintaining them. The main reason why I have all of these stem plants here is because my good friend, who's my photographer friend also, he loves his plants, and he's given me a lot of his plants to grow and keep, so in case he loses his, he can come here and get them back. And it's not his fault. I really like that, and I really wanted all these plants as well. It's just maintenance. It's just kind of annoying and tricky, so it's my fault that I don't enjoy caring for stem plants. So yeah, but here's a tank with immersed crypts, and I just put another Echinodorus there. They're really hardy plants, and yeah, really fun for me. I really enjoy it. Let me know what types of plants you like. I also love epiphyte plants like Microsorums, Anubias, Bucephalandras, because they're really hardy. They can grow underwater, above water. Stem plants can as well, and you just leave them alone and they'll grow for you, and they're low maintenance. And one more reason why I can think of that there's so much algae in these tanks is because there's no cleanup crew. The Amano shrimp that I have in here are very minimal. I've only got some, like a handful in each tank, and you need a lot more if you want to clean algae. And with nature aquariums like the ADA tanks and all these beautiful planted aquariums, like people put 50, hundreds, 200, no, maybe not 2, I don't know. People put lots of shrimps in the tanks to clean up because they're really good algae eaters. So I've only got maybe about 8 or so in this tank, and maybe like, I don't think I have any in here. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get some today and add a majority into this tank and maybe a few more into this tank. And we might do a blackout for 1 or 2 days just to give the shrimp some time to munch on algae while they can. Alright, so I'm back from the store. I got some stuff. I got 10 Amano shrimp. 10 is a little bit little. Like for this size tank, a 2-foot tank, you could put 30, but that's if you wanted to. For me, I think 10 is enough for now, and I've got some in other tanks that if I needed to, I can just scoop them out and put them in this tank, but I think 10 is good. And I also got some black mollies, 2 actually, and what I realized now is I should have gotten 2 more for this tank. First, I was thinking of just putting 1 in this tank and 1 in that tank, but now I'm looking through the bag, and the lady at the fish store, the pet store, gave me a male and a female, so I kind of want these 2 to breed. And with live bearers, the female is probably already pregnant, but now I kind of want them to live together, so I think I'll just put them in this tank for now, and then maybe in the future we'll get a few more black mollies for this tank. But for this tank, I'm not going to put any of those Amano shrimp because I've already got some in here, and you can see they are really good workers. Here's another one right here. So I've got quite a few in this tank, so I think there's no need for any more right now. Alright, so some people might not like the way I do this, but I'm just gonna put them in the tank. So I did temperature acclimate them for about an hour and a half, a little bit longer. And these shrimp I know are really hardy, and this tank is basically empty, so Just let these guys out. And then we'll do the same thing for the black mollies. It's nice that the lady at the store gave me a pair. I don't know if she did that purposely or if it was just by luck. But it's nice to know that now I have a chance to get some babies out of these. So, thank you, lady at the store. So these are officially the first inhabitants of this tank. We do have some guppies, but those were kind of like a testing fish. I wanted to see if this tank was alright for livestock, and they've been in here for just over a week now, so yeah, should be no problem for these black mollies and amano shrimp. It looks like this on the left is the female, and then the one on the right is the male. Like, take a look, you can see the anal fin is a triangular one on that one, and then on this one it's more pointed. So, and you can see the finnage, the top finnage is really beautiful on this guy. It's got a bit of orange to it. Yeah, come on guys, get out of the bag. Yeah, but the tank is looking really good. From a distance, I really love the way these two tanks look. You've got the white background and the black background, and man, I really like both. I think once the plants start growing taller in this tank, they're gonna look really good, and it's gonna be a good comparison between white and black backgrounds. And yeah, currently I like the look of this tank, but once we start getting more colors in this tank, I think it's gonna look just as good. But I really need these guys to swim out now. Yes. On their own. Good job. That's amazing. That's incredible. Right as soon as they got out of the bag, you can see they're already munching on stuff. If you guys didn't know, black mollies are said to be really good algae eaters. I learned this from Stephen Chong, who's a great aquascaper, and he told me this. I didn't know at all that black mollies were good for eating algae, so it's kind of a weird fish to buy for getting rid of algae, but you can see, like, that's crazy. They're already going to town with this. Man, I'm so excited to see how this tank turns out in the next few days and weeks. And just like that, it's the next day. I've already started the blackout process. No lights today, no CO2, and I'll do the same thing tomorrow. And then after that, the third day, we'll put the lights back on. But you can see, I'll let you guys look for just a moment. Let me turn the lights on just for a second. Yeah, so you can see 40%, that's my usual setting. Turn it on. So this tank still basically looks the same, maybe a little bit better. You can still see strands of hair algae, but we'll black out this tank for 2 days, and hopefully we can sort of manage this algae. It's mostly the filter, I think, that's a problem. The placement of it, I should really put it on the sides here, but if I put it on the sides of the tank, I won't be able to mount the light because the stands need to go on the side of the tank. So yeah, I did think about that. The best thing would probably change it to a canister filter. At this point of time, I don't really want to put a canister filter on this tank. I feel like with just a little bit more patience and a little bit more maintenance, we will be able to sort this algae out. And I did mention that maybe there's not enough flow on that side, but if you look, you can see the water spreads. There's movement all the way over on that side of the tank. You can see like little ripples, so I think it should be okay. It's just a balancing issue and nutrient imbalance and stuff like that. Let's turn this light on as well, just for a few minutes, few seconds, just to show you guys. So that is the 𝗲𝘾𝗶𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀, and go to auto. Yep, turned on. And you can see a huge difference. Some of the algae that was on the soil is like almost all gone thanks to these mollies. Like, thank you so much, mollies. You are doing an amazing job at cleaning this algae. So I'll leave them, I'll give them 2 more days, to clean up in the darkness, and hopefully by day 3 it'll turn out better. But yeah, take a look at these two tanks side by side. I think they look quite good. Now I'm going to head to the local home center so I can get some paint to finish painting these walls and this wall over here. They should be painted by next video, so I hope you guys are excited to see that happen. I'm really excited to get this room finished up. I think what I was feeling these last few weeks was a kind of burnout maybe. I'm not too sure, but yeah, we'll get over it and we'll start fresh, do things slow, one step at a time, and I think everything will be good because I still love this hobby. I love what I'm doing here and I love sharing it with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.